Dear students, in this video, we are going to revise the concepts you learnt in the chapter Coordinate Geometry in your 9th class. You know very well, the horizontal reference line is called as x-axis and the vertical reference line is y-axis. And we represent x-axis with as xx dash and y-axis as yy dash. Dear students, when we are just reading about an axis, x-axis, AXIS axis, and when we are saying x and y axis together, that is the plural form is AXES axis, x and y axis, right? Now the point of intersection of these two axes, x-axis and y-axis, is the origin, usually represented using the capital letter O. Now these two axes divide the plane into 4 quadrants. The top right quadrant, you can observe here, this quadrant is the first quadrant known as Q1. Now the next quadrant we get by moving in anti-clockwise direction. So Q1 is a top right quadrant and Q2 is a top left quadrant. Okay, so the Q3 is bottom left and the fourth quadrant is bottom right. So the x-axis and y-axis divide the plane into 4 quadrants and the top right quadrant is the first quadrant. As we move along anti-clockwise direction, we get the remaining quadrants. Now the positive side of x-axis, the positive values lie towards the right side of the origin on x-axis. So these are the positive side of x-axis, these values, the positive values, positive side of x-axis, positive direction of x-axis towards the right side of the origin. And towards the left side, we have negative x-axis. Similarly, we have positive values for x-axis, here upwards, all the positive side of y-axis, and the negative values of y-axis downwards. Yes. So you just look here, children. In the first quadrant, when you are plotting a point, you have the x coordinate positive and even y coordinate positive. So the ordered pair which is in the first quadrant will be positive and positive. That is, x coordinate is positive and y coordinate is also positive. When we move on to the second quadrant, we notice that the x coordinates are negative. So the ordered pair in the second quadrant takes the form negative and positive. It is for the x coordinate it is negative and for the y coordinate it is positive. Let us check in third quadrant. In third quadrant, observe that x values are negative and also the y values. So both the coordinates x and y are negative in the third quadrant. Let us see in the fourth quadrant. See that you have positive values, positive x here in fourth quadrant and negative y. So the ordered pairs of the form positive x coordinate and negative y coordinate, positive x and negative y lie in the fourth quadrant. Now on the graph sheet, Let us try to plot few points and try to find the distance between them. So this is the x-axis as we have just noticed, just discussed, and the vertical line represents the y-axis. Let us see how the scale is marked over here. The scale on x-axis, you can observe 1 centimeter is equal to 1 unit. So on x-axis we have 1 centimeter is equal to 1 unit. Similarly, on y-axis also we have 1 centimeter as 1 unit. Let us mark 2 points, point A and point B. Let us write the ordered pair. A is 4, 0 and B is 9, 0. Now let us find the distance between these 2 points. Let us just draw a line segment. Now observe here, A is 4, 0 and the point B is 9, 0. I just want to know the distance between these 2 points. Let us just count and see. As we know the scale, 1 centimeter is 1 unit. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 units. So the distance between A and B is 5 units. Now because they are on the graph sheet, you are able to just count the distance. But can you say if they are marked on a plain paper? Just observe the coordinates. Can we relate anything from these coordinates? That is, we just got the distance as 5 units. Can we relate anything with these coordinates? Yes, the y values are 0 because these 2 points are on x-axis. We know very well the points which lie on x-axis have their y coordinate as 0. Now the distance, when we observe the x coordinates, we can just see if we subtract, that is if we subtract 4 from 9, 9 minus 4 gives the value 5, which is the distance. Because it is a horizontal length, we can simply subtract 4 from 9. That is, if this point is considered as x2 and this as x1, the x coordinate as x1, then x2 minus x1, 9 minus 4 gives the distance between these 2 points. Let us take 2 more points and try to see. Let us mark a point C, mark another point D. Let us write the coordinates. C is minus 4, 6 and D is minus 11, 6. Now let us see, find the distance between the points C, D. So you just observe, children. C is minus 4, 6 and D is minus 11, 6. Even here we notice that the y coordinates are equal. And this line or line segment in fact is parallel to the x-axis. Now my idea is to find the distance between these two. I wish to find from C to D. Of course CD, the length will be equal to DC. So CD, x2 is minus 11 and x1 is minus 4. So as we have discussed here, let us check whether what we get by subtracting x1 from x2 is same as the length by measuring it. So this is 1 unit, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7 units, right? The distance between C to D is 7 units. Let us try to subtract the x coordinates. Minus 11 minus of minus 4 is plus 4. Minus 11 plus 4. What is minus 11 plus 4? Yes, minus 7. But you just tell me, children, can the distance be negative? Is it possible to have a measure of a distance as negative value? Never. So we will be subtracting the x coordinates but we are taking the absolute value of the difference of x coordinates. So absolute value, subtract them. As we are considering from C to D here in this case, we have discussed minus 11, x2 is minus 11, minus of minus 4 is minus 7. So when I take the absolute value, it will be 7 units. So either if the points are on x-axis or if they are on the line parallel to x-axis, we get the distance between the points just by subtracting their x coordinates and taking the absolute value. Okay, let us check what happens if we consider points on y-axis. Let us mark 2 points L and M. Let us note down the coordinates. Here 0, 6 and M is 0, minus 2. Now the vertical distance, let us measure. We have even on y-axis 1 centimeter is 1 unit. So let us just count 1 unit, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. 8 units. And x coordinate is 0 because these 2 points lie on y-axis. Now just observe their y coordinates. We got this distance as 8 units. And is it the same as we have considered on x-axis or subtracting the x coordinates? Is it similar to that? Let us check. 6 minus of minus 2 or minus 2 of minus 6, whatever it is. So we get it as plus 8 or minus 8, and if you consider its absolute value, then it is nothing but 8 units. So if the points lie on y-axis, we notice that the distance between them can be obtained by subtracting their y coordinates. Let us check it if we consider the points on a line which is parallel to y-axis. Is it the same case? Let us check. Let us consider the points N and one more point O. Let us note down the ordered pairs. N is 14, 3 and O is 14, minus 3. Now the distance between N, O is 1 unit, 2 units, 3 units, 4, 5 and 6. We have 6 units. The distance between N and O is 6 units. Now just observe their ordered pairs. We have x coordinates equal in these 2 points and this is parallel to y-axis. Okay. Now let us just try to find the difference between their y coordinates. y2 minus 3 minus of 3, which is equal to minus 6, and as we have already discussed, distance cannot be negative. So it is the absolute value of minus 6, which is 6 units. So what we have observed is distance between the points that lie on x-axis, that is x1, 0, we have y coordinate 0, and x2, 0. We have y coordinate 0 even in this. These 2 points lie on x-axis and their distance can be obtained. The distance between these 2 points can be obtained by considering the absolute value of their difference of the x coordinates, that is x2 minus x1. Mod of x2 minus x1 gives the distance between the 2 points that lie on x-axis. And it is similar with the case when they lie on the line segment or line that is parallel to x-axis. You can observe in these 2 points we have y coordinate same, y1 and y1 in both the points. So distance between such points is also obtained by just taking the difference of x coordinates, mod of x2 minus x1. Now when we move on to the points on y-axis, that is distance between 0, y1 and 0, y2. These 2 points lie on y-axis. Their distance, vertical distance, can be obtained by taking the mod value of y2 minus y1. Similarly, we obtain the distance between the points x1, y1 and x1, y2 as the mod value of y2 minus y1. So that's all for today, children. We'll meet